White crime versus black crime. To me, being broke, having $80 million is a crime. Killing dogs is a crime. Going to go get your things back in a hotel in Vegas is a crime. Those are crimes. Now, is there a difference between a black crime or a white crime, Charles?
Well, do you mean blue collar crime or white collar
Black
crime? Is that what
versus
you mean?
white crime. Is there a difference?
I'll say this. As a society, I think we are too comfortable with white collar crime, which, that tends to be committed by certain types of people. But people would have a problem living next door to someone who stole car stereos, but nobody would have a problem living next to the guy who steals people's 401ks. That's the problem.
So do you have a problem with alcoholism versus smoking weed?
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
I'll say this.
No, it's not.
I'll say this.
No, it's not.
Okay, substance abuse is substance abuse. Now, here's the other thing. Some people think, now if you're getting drunk on Boone's Farm or King Cobra, is the same thing as if you're getting drunk on an $800 bottle of scotch.
So
if you're doing that every single night,
Babe Ruth did it every night. Babe Ruth did it every night.
He was a drunk, as was Mickey Mantle.
Was he a drunk, though? He performed greatest home run hitter of all time.
Hey, there are a lot of functional alcoholics out there.
Dennis Rodman, Babe Ruth. So black crime versus white crime. Should we go get somebody help for being an alcoholic opposed to somebody smoking weed? Now, the NBA, which is a fringe sport, has a policy about weed smoke. Is that a black crime or white crime? But alcoholism is different. Which one is it?
Well, for one thing, one is legal and one isn't. Let's go with that. And let's not talk about making alcohol illegal, because we all know about Prohibition and Al Capone and all that, and we watch.
One is alleged legal.
Alleged legal.
It's alleged that marijuana is legal. And I'm not a proponent for it. It's alleged that it's legal.
I'll say this about marijuana and it being legal. It is as legal as it needs to be. That's it. That's what I say about marijuana. Why does it need to be any more legal than it is right now?
If you have a migraine, go get you some weed. Is that what you're saying?
Right, and then the people that I know, not that I know a lot of pot smokers, however, everyone I know who wants to does it. Yeah, it's not a problem. It's not like anyone is really being deterred by it being is it illegal?
I have no idea.
As long as you don't have a duffel bag of it in your trunk, you're okay.
I'm still confused.
If you got a baggie, you're fine. If you're being Nate Newton, it's a problem.
And see, that's a black crime. Now,
why are you going to have an NFL career and then decide to be a drug smuggler when your career is done?
Obviously, he committed a black crime by being broke and then becoming a drug smuggler and having another black crime. So my thing is, I'm not hearing a lot. There are a lot of hockey players, and you're the authority. You're the hockey. Your nickname is the Enforcer.
I have played hockey since 1975, and I've coached hockey since 1990. Yes, sir.
So there's more crack use and cocaine use in the NHL than there is in the NFL. Is that a black crime or a white crime?
What do you mean there's cocaine use in the NHL?
Oh, come on. There's no cocaine use in the NHL.
Are we still back to Kevin Stevens and Bob Probert?
Okay, so
one guy is dead.
So you're naming names.
And the other guy is, if you talk about irrelevancy, he is irrelevant. That's Kevin Stevens.
So you're naming names. So, you've been in, I've been in hockey.
Now, I have never seen an NHL player do a line or smoke crack or anything like that. I'm just saying. Just in case anyone thinks I'm not much of an insider.
But it is prevalent.
I've never sold rock to any NHL players either.
But is it prevalent?
Not to my knowledge, honestly.
Oh, come on. You're playing, come on.
Well, it's a certain type, though. When we look at the NHLers who get into that stuff, when they look at the guys who died, Derek Bugard, all those guys, the enforcers, they wound up, that was an outlet. And I think it's an outlet because they're in a position they don't really want to be in. A lot of the fighters are really, they live in fear.
Yeah.
They don't want to fight every game, but they have to. But then again, you can take the other road less traveled. If you don't like what you have to do because you don't really have the talent to stay in the NHL, you can go ahead and sell insurance, right? They can do that.
I don't have the talent.
If you want that big money that comes along with whatever sport you do, you got to take the bitter with the sweet. So if the only way you can make it in the NHL is by being a fighter, you should not loathe being a fighter. You don't have the talent to succeed any other way. That's just the way it is. If you don't like what you have to do to stay in that sport and make those big 6-7 figure incomes, then find another profession. It's that simple.
So let's bottom line this. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best, meth, crack, heroin use in the NHL is a what?
It's, I'd say, not even something to worry about.
So is it a white crime or a black crime?
A white crime or a black? Are we talking like literally blacks and whites here?
Yeah, because I'm going to go into black crimes. Weed smoke, crack, weed is a black crime. Alleged.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
In the NFL, how many people have been busted in the NFL that are black for weed?
A lot.
A lot.
A bunch of them.
How many people have smoked crack in the NFL?
I see where you're going with this. Okay.
So I'm saying in the NFL, which is predominantly black, and the NBA, which is predominantly black, they have more black crimes than the NHL.
Well, but I'll say this. Like Emmett Smith said. Okay, we all grew up in certain places with certain types of people. Everybody,
okay.
If you grew up in the hood, you grew up in the hood.
It is what
you know
it is.
Somebody since they were 7 years old, went through high school.
It is what
he
it is.
turned out to be a pothead, a crackhead, a drug dealer, whatever, but still, you knew it.
I agree.
But he said you reach a certain point where you got to leave those people behind.
They're not leaving them behind.
Right, and that's the problem.
They're not leaving them behind.
That's the problem.
Now here's one
Remember,
thing.
Alonzo Mourning was in trouble when he was, and it wasn't about.
And he was broke.
And it wasn't when he was at Georgetown, though.
Yep.
And it was because of someone he had grown up with. But we grew up, we were friends, and I'm coming to see you just because I know you from around this, around the hood and stuff. It doesn't mean I'm wanting to be one of your street dealers or anything. It's just you're that guy I've known for 20 years, and that was the situation that Mourning had gotten in when he was in Georgetown.
One of the great travesties in all of sport was Lenny Bias. I mean, potential superstar. Hey, I'm gonna put it out on blast because that's just what I do. He says it was alleged that he partied one time with cocaine. I don't believe that. Got a bad batch of some cocaine, and
actually, it was a good batch.
Well, it was too good. Yeah, too good. It was too good. It was super bad. And he's no longer with us. So my thing, to your point, is you got to watch who you hang out with. And
I'll tell you, I've never done any cocaine in my life. And here's the problem. I know if I did one line, my heart would explode. I would drop dead, and I'd have to die of cokehead. That's it.
I don't put anything up my nose except my finger. That's just it.
We could go someplace with that, but you know what? Let's not.
All right.